Alright people, welcome back to SouthBeachSpeed. Today we're going over a very serious topic. After owning this car for the last few months, I find myself asking the same question. Would I still buy the C8 Corvette now that I've had it for the last few months? In this video, we're gonna go over why I would, why I wouldn't, what I'd probably get, and if I'm actually gonna buy this car again. Let's get right into it. Things that I still love about the C8 Corvette is how affordable it is. For about $60,000, you can get a used C8 Corvette that performs at a very high level when it comes to performance cars. If you want to get a GT, like a Mustang GT for $60,000, yeah, you're gonna get it brand new, but it's not gonna perform as well in terms of numbers like the C8 Corvette. In this price range, you're not gonna find any car with a mid-engine configuration. The power to weight ratio balance makes a huge difference when you compare it to other cars that are similar in weight and similar in power. So that's why this has my heart when it comes to the mid-engine configuration, the price for the performance. The looks, obviously, it's still there. I don't hate the way the car looks. It looks fantastic. One of the other things that I think Corvette really nailed it with, like I said, is the looks. And even when you're driving down, parked next to Lamborghinis or McLarens or Aston Martins, whatever car you want to name, the Corvette still stands out and looks just as good as any one of those cars, in all honesty. Now, after daily driving it for a while, of course there's going to be some things that annoy me with the car, and it makes me regret buying it a little bit. One of those things, and it's partially because of the recent oil change that I got, they use this excuse because it's such a different car compared to the previous Corvettes that the maintenance on it is going to take longer than a normal car. Granted, I understand it's a mid-engine car, but it's just an oil change. It literally took, this is what the dealer told me last time I went to get an oil change done. 1 hour to wait for them to even take my car in, even though I had an appointment. But let's not use that one. It's fine, whatever. And then another hour for them to do the actual oil change. And I'm just thinking, and I told them the same thing. It's a normal car. You just drain the oil and you put a new filter in. How complicated can it be? Their excuse was, oh, well, you know, it's a high-end car. We don't want to ruin it. We don't want to mess it up. We want to make sure everything's done right. I get that, but it shouldn't take 2-3 hours to do an oil change. Another thing that makes me not like the car, I'll be honest, some of the things in the interior makes the car feel lower quality. What are those things that you're asking? In all honesty, this pillar right here, that's driver focus, which I like, but it's also stupid because it's just solid. I don't know why they made it solid like this. With the 2026s, I like the new design there. I wish they would have just done that with these ones, but I guess they want to make more sales in the future, which I understand. But that's just one of my pet peeves. And these things aren't deal breakers, but it still bothers me. Another one of those things that bothers me about the car sometimes, and this is actually my fault too, is the car's clearance. After installing this front lip, it's made it so much harder for me not to scrape it. But it's my fault, I'm not gonna lie. I wish the car did come with adjustable front suspension where it just lifts the car's nose just a little bit, a few inches is completely fine with me. But yeah, it is what it is. And like I said, these aren't deal breakers, but it reminds you that this car isn't worth $1 million or $500,000. It's not a Lamborghini, it's not a Ferrari. Like I said, the interior could use some improvements, like all the plastic. I don't understand why there's so much plastic in this car. That's what I don't understand. The car is made out of fiberglass. You could have used that money to put it into the interior, make it a little bit fancier. But whatever, I'm not complaining. Like I said, these aren't deal breakers. Now, if I knew how this car performed before getting it, would I get this car again? That's the one question that I constantly ask myself. Which car would I choose if I didn't buy this car? Honestly, I thought about that for a little bit of time, and I told myself, okay, if I bought this car for X amount, I could theoretically afford double that if I really wanted to. So the cars in that price range is around a McLaren 570S, McLaren GT, Lamborghini Urus, Huracan, California, Ferrari California, Z06 obviously, and in all honesty, oh, how could I forget? A 911 Turbo. There's a few cars that I actually have thought about, and in all honesty, if I did have to pick one of those cars, I would probably go to a Huracan. If I had to, if I got that chance where I could go back, I'd probably buy a Huracan. But again, I don't know what it's like daily driving a Huracan. I want the Z06 just because of the sound, but Huracans sound amazing too. So I can't, throw that out the window. I could do a McLaren, but McLarens are notorious for being unreliable. Lamborghini has a good brand, Ferrari has a good brand. The California is also a great. Yeah. It sounds great. It sounds great. But those are the options when it comes to which cars I could get if I didn't get this car. And that's really just for the performance. I love higher performing cars, obviously. Okay, people, so final verdict. If I could go back, would I buy this car again? Short answer, yes. Long answer, probably not. Yes, because this car is still a great car. No, because if I'm spending this kind of money, I could also buy something faster, like a Tesla, but that's obviously an electric car, and I just am not a fan of electric cars yet. They are fast, and I options. I'll see you guys in the next one.